The wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez in Venice was a spectacle unlike any other, drawing attention, but not just for its lavish details, but for the incredible lineup of celebrity guests today. We are exploring and analyzing some of the most memorable looks from this high-profile celebration, starting with the newlyweds. Lauren Sánchez chose a Dolce & Gabbana gown from their Ultima line, the brand's haute couture, offering the dress features a mermaid silhouette fitted through the body and adorned with intricate lace. The mermaid cut accentuates her figure beautifully, and the silhouette is classic and elegant. The lace adds texture and refinement, while the buttons down the front create a visual line that contrasts with the traditional back closure, and while unconventional, it is a bold design choice that makes the gown stand out. Jeff Bezos complemented her look with a classic tailored suit, understated and elegant, allowing the focus to remain on the bride's ensemble. Reflects timeless wedding style, maintaining sophistication without overshadowing his partner for another part of the celebration. Lauren wore a Schiaparelli gown straight from the runway, with a nipped-in waist and unique neckline overlay emphasizing her figure. The structured design evokes past haute couture elegance with meticulous embroidery and metallic thread, adding depth and richness. The overlay is dramatic on the runway, but slightly more understated in real life, highlighting the difference between runway styling and real-world wear. Nonetheless, the craftsmanship and detailing are exceptional, reinforcing Schiaparelli's reputation for innovative design. Her third look was a striking Atelier Versace gown, combining a metallic mosaic texture with a fitted silhouette, creating a contemporary take on the classic bodycon style. The dress balanced horizontal and vertical elements, creating visual interest while maintaining polish and sophistication overall. Lauren's choices reflect her fashion-forward sensibilities, blending classic couture with modern statements suitable for a Venetian celebration. Among the celebrity guests, Kim Kardashian attended in multiple outfits, including a python-patterned form-fitting gown and a vintage Versace piece featuring metal chain detailing and crystal accents. Both looks highlight her signature style, emphasizing form and structure while maintaining a polished modern aesthetic. Kendall Jenner wore a sleek black dress accented with green jewelry. The combination of green and black was visually striking, with the accessories adding elegance and sophistication to the understated gown. Khloe Kardashian's Tamara Ralph gown featured square sequins and a feathered cape evoking Venetian drama. The soft pink hue complemented her look, and the carefully chosen necklace enhanced the elegance. Kylie Jenner wore a custom Delara Findicoglu gown in a soft ivory tone with deconstructed detailing and cutouts. The artistic design reflects the brand's avant-garde aesthetic, and the gown fit her figure impeccably, balancing contemporary style with wedding-appropriate sophistication.
In a private ceremony in Italy.
I'm so excited to announce this. I never thought at 55 that, I'd be getting married.
Craftsmanship and classic elegance made her look refined yet visually dynamic. Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom maintained classic wedding suiting, offering timeless silhouettes. Oprah Winfrey's dress featured elegant draping and ruching, while Queen Rania of Jordan wore a distinguished Armani Privé gown reflecting royal poise. Sydney Sweeney chose vintage Elie Saab, adding a touch of old-world glamour. Tom Brady's all-black ensemble exuded modern simplicity, while Victoria Chiretti impressed in a unique gown with artistic detailing perfectly suited to a luxurious Venetian backdrop. From couture wedding gowns to carefully chosen guest attire, the Venice celebration provided an array of visually striking and sophisticated looks. The designs ranged from timeless elegance to contemporary fashion-forward statements, reflecting the artistry and creativity of established and emerging designers. Analyzing the ensembles gives a window into how style is interpreted for a high-profile event, showing balance of tradition, innovation, and personal taste. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez's wedding was not only a landmark social event, but a masterclass in luxury fashion, demonstrating how thoughtful design choices can create an unforgettable impression. As the celebrations in Venice unfolded, the atmosphere was electric with excitement and elegance. The guests moving through the ornate halls and along the canals seemed almost cinematic, as every detail from the decor to the fashion created a scene worthy of the world's most exclusive magazines. The lighting glimmering off the Venetian waters, casting reflections across flowing fabrics and intricate gowns. The attention to detail was extraordinary. Every choice from shoes to accessories seemed meticulously curated to complement the grandeur of the city and the magnitude of the event. Lauren Sánchez continued to showcase her remarkable fashion sense, moving from one ensemble to the next, each outfit telling a story of craftsmanship and creativity. Her Dolce & Gabbana gown had set the tone for the evening, but the Schiaparelli and Atelier Versace gowns elevated the spectacle to another level, the embroidery and metallic thread catching light in ways that made every movement mesmerizing, and the silhouette sculpting her figure with precision while maintaining comfort and elegance. She demonstrated how haute couture can balance artistry and wearability, and this was reflected in how the other guests approached their attire. Many of the women chose statements that balanced modern edge with timeless sophistication. Kim Kardashian's python-patterned gown drew attention for its sleek lines and form-fitting cut, while the vintage Versace piece with chain detailing and crystal embellishments emphasized structure and artistry. Kendall Jenner's minimalist black dress contrasted beautifully with her green gemstone jewelry, creating visual interest through color and elegance. Khloe Kardashian embraced Venetian flair with her Tamara Ralph gown, the feathered cape flowing like a soft breeze capturing the romance of the city's canals. Kylie Jenner's Dilara Findicoglu gown pushed boundaries with deconstructed detailing and subtle cutouts offering avant-garde aesthetics. While fitting her figure perfectly, Kris Jenner's vintage Valentino combined dramatic puff sleeves with refined Italian craftsmanship. Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom maintained classic wedding suiting their presence, grounding the fashion narrative and timeless menswear choices. Oprah Winfrey's draped and ruched gown added understated glamour, while Queen Rania of Jordan's Armani Privé reflected royal elegance and poise. Sydney Sweeney's vintage Elie Saab contributed old world glamour alongside modern-style Tom Brady's monochrome black ensemble created sleek simplicity, contrasting against more intricate gowns, and Victoria Soretti's unique artistic gown played with textures and structure, reflecting contemporary design philosophies. The wedding was more than a union of two remarkable people. It became a living fashion exhibition, an exploration of how couture, personal style, and setting interact to create moments that linger in memory and in photographs. Each choice by the attendees reflected consideration for the theme, the city, the lighting, and the social dynamics, while also allowing personal expression. The way fabrics moved in the Venetian breeze, the way metallic threads caught the fading sun on the Grand Canal, the subtle play between horizontal and vertical design elements in gowns, and the interplay of colors all created a visual symphony. Lauren Sanchez's choices in particular demonstrated how multiple designers and styles can coexist within a single celebration, creating a narrative arc through fashion, from traditional elegance to bold modernity, while respecting the ceremonial significance of a wedding in such an iconic location. The event highlighted not only luxury, but also the storytelling power of clothing, showing that fashion can elevate an occasion into an experience that feels both personal and cinematic even. The accessories became characters in this unfolding visual story. The necklaces, the earrings, the subtle rings, the careful choice of footwear all contributed to a curated aesthetic without overwhelming the overall harmony. The guests moved in a rhythm that seemed choreographed, the gowns catching the light as they walked along canals, the velvet and silk textures juxtaposed with metallic details and soft lace creating layers of interest and complexity. The photographers captured these moments with precision, the images showing how couture interacts with real movement and environment, revealing the nuanced balance between art and practicality. The event also reflected modern approaches to celebrity appearances in private celebrations. The mixture of vintage and runway pieces allowed attendees to honor designers while expressing individuality. The choice of custom pieces alongside pre-existing couture emphasized creativity over conformity. The wedding became a lesson in how profile events can integrate fashion storytelling with personal taste and environmental context. Over every billionaire, even subtle elements like the way guests adjusted capes or the slight movement of ruffles in the breeze contributed to the overall narrative. Every ensemble seemed to participate in a silent dialogue with the architecture and waterways of Venice. The person beside highlighting the interconnectedness of style, place, and occasion in ways that felt effortless yet intentional. His power and his freedom. Each look told a story of personality. It became the status taste and respect for the setting. Nothing is private. The interplay between textures, silhouettes, and color choices provided a visual map of social dynamics markets or courts, while also honoring the artistry of the designers. Hand to hand until every glance, every reflection in the water, every captured moments seemed to amplify the immersive experience, creating a sense of continuous discovery. As viewers and attendees alike experienced new details with each turn of the camera, the layering of historic and contemporary elements reinforced a sense of timelessness. Those sounds were already the vintage pieces speaking to heritage and the runway-inspired looks the staff projecting innovation and future potential. Each one aware the wedding illustrated how fashion can be an instrument of storytelling, and what little chatter capable of conveying elegance, not on what had happened, confidence, but on what might creativity happen and personal identity simultaneously. Westward into the night. It was an example of how high-profile celebrations can inspire curiosity, engagement, and discussion in ways that extend far beyond the ceremony itself. The careful curation of looks from Lauren Sánchez toward the same conclusion. And her guests demonstrated an understanding of context, scale, and impact, showing that luxury fashion, when thoughtfully applied, can elevate any event to an unforgettable sensory experience, leaving impressions that persist long after the final. In New York, photograph is taken. Hedge fund managers and Greenwich fixers as the celebrations in Venice continued, the interplay of fashion and setting became even more pronounced. Every guest moving along the canals or through the grand halls seemed to contribute to a living tableau, repeating each gown, each suit, each accessory, interacting with the surroundings, creating an almost cinematic experience. The way Lauren Sánchez transitioned from her Dolce & Gabbana gown to Schiaparelli, Amazon's headquarters, and then Atelier Versace, showed not only versatility, but also narrative progression, and style from classic elegance to modern couture innovation. The lace embroidery, the metallic threads, the structured silhouettes, all told a story of craftsmanship, dedication, and thoughtful design choices reflecting the artistic vision of the designers, while also honoring the significance of the event beyond the bride and groom. The guests themselves became participants in this unfolding fashion story. Kim Kardashian's python-patterned dress and her vintage Versace ensemble juxtaposed modern sleekness with intricate chain detailing emphasizing structure and texture. Designer sunglasses. Kendall Jenner's understated black dress paired with green gemstones highlighted how accessories can transform simplicity into sophistication. Her career in media Khloe Kardashian embraced powerful companions, dramatic flair with her pink Tamara Ralph gown feathered cape to influence, and delicate necklace, a combination that evoked the romance of Venice while maintaining personal elegance. Of ambition of Kylie Jenner's deconstructed Delara Findicoglu gown challenged traditionals where others underestimated notions of wedding guest attire, its soft ivory tone and avant-garde cutouts balancing artistic expression with appropriateness. She did not just enter circles. Kris Jenner's vintage Valentino black gown with bold puff sleeves brought a historical reference to the celebration. Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom's classic suiting choices demonstrated how timeless menswear provides grounding in a sea of couture experimentation. Oprah Winfrey's ruched draped gown offered subtle glamour, while Queen Rania of Jordan, waiting in Armani Privé, exemplified regal poise. Sydney Sweeney's vintage Ely Saab choice added old-world sophistication and modern elegance simultaneously. The honeymoon glow. Tom Brady's monochromatic black suit created a sleek contrast to the vibrancy of surrounding gowns, and Victoria Soretti's uniquely detailed artistic gown captured attention with its innovative textures and silhouette. The Venetian setting itself became a participant, the light reflecting off canals illuminating fabrics and embellishments. In unexpected ways, the interplay of horizontal and vertical elements in many of the dresses created movement and visual rhythm, as the guests mingled the reflections in the water and the ornate architecture framed each ensemble, adding layers of complexity to the visual narrative. The wedding became not just a social or ceremonial event, but a masterclass in how fashion can interact with environment and personality. How couture can tell stories beyond the wearer, and how every detail from embroidery to the way a cape moves in the breeze contributes to an immersive spectacle. Every guest became a character in this ongoing narrative, from designers to accessories to hairstyle choices. Wasn't just attending the party. The attention to detail was meticulous, taking over the narrative, even though with elegance, footwear and subtle jewelry selections reflected thoughtful consideration as for the overall aesthetic harmony. Casting a warm amber glow, each piece communicated style, confidence, and respect for the occasion. Effortless grace, the blending of runway pieces, vintage couture, and custom designs highlighted the dynamic between tradition and modernity. The thoughtful curation of colors, textures, and silhouettes created a cohesive yet diverse visual experience. The movement through different settings, including gondolas and grand Venetian ballrooms, enhanced the storytelling as fabrics flowed reflected light of a woman and interacted with architecture in ways that brought the celebration to life. Jeff Bezos photographers captured these moments, framing them in ways that emphasized both the individual and collective impact of fashion choices. The event illustrated the power of clothing as an instrument of communication in the public, capable of conveying elegance, personality, creativity, and identity in low conversation. Simultaneously, it offered viewers and attendees a sense of continuity, discovery, and wonder with every glance, every reflection, and every movement of fabric, revealing new details and nuances. For every movement, the wedding became a living example of how high-profile events can blend luxury, artistry, and narrative storytelling, as if envisioning creating memories and visual impressions that linger long after the celebration ended, from couture gowns to timeless suits to innovative accessories. lips. Every element contributed to a layered story of sophistication, creativity, and personal expression, like an art form. Showing that fashion is not just clothing, but an essential part of cultural and social experience, highlighting at the highest levels. Between the Venice wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez stood as a testament to how meticulous planning, thoughtful design, and creative curation can transform an event into an unforgettable sensory and visual journey where every detail matters and the experience of watching becomes as rich and captivating as participating. The delicate balance as the Venice celebration carried on, the atmosphere seemed to shimmer with an almost tangible energy. The guests moving through the opulent spaces along canals and terraces and steel created a dynamic visual narrative where fashion met environment in a global fluid dance, every ensemble telling a story not just about the wearer, but about the interplay between design, location, and occasion. Empowering. Lauren Sánchez continued to showcase her sartorial mastery. Each gown she wore, building on the narrative arc established. A gentle twilight from her Dolce & Gabbana mermaid silhouette, everything in shades through the Schiaparelli runway-inspired waist and overlay, to the contemporary Atelier Versace metallic mosaic bodycon held the weight. Each piece balancing elegance, artistry, and individuality. The scene was cinematic, her choices highlighted, and Lauren Sánchez couture can elevate a personal experience into a larger statement, one that while allowing her personality to shine through the detailing of lace embroidery, and metallic threads and structural overlays. As the sun all reflected craftsmanship, dedication, and creativity. Jeff Bezos' understated suiting choices served as a counterpoint at the railing, allowing the bride's couture to remain the focal point of her hair, while his classic tailoring reinforced timeless sophistication and subtlety among the guests. Kim Kardashian continued. Her exploration of texture and form, her python gown sleek and modern contrasted with the vintage Versace chain accented ensemble, demonstrating versatility and a nuanced understanding of silhouette and embellishment. Movement. Kendall Jenner's black dress, Lauren moved with green gemstones, provided refined elegance. She was showing how simplicity paired with thoughtful accessories and the night can create understated impact. Khloe Kardashian's pink Tamara Ralph gown, with its feathered cape added drama and movement, capturing the romance and theatricality of Venice. DiCaprio and Kylie Jenner's Delara Findikoglu gown in soft ivory with deconstructed cutouts presented an avant-garde approach balancing modern artistry with wedding-appropriate style Kris Jenner's vintage Valentino. The glow of the city lights gown with dramatic puff sleeves merged historical reference with contemporary taste under scrutiny and Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom's classic suiting offered grounding timelessness, but of amidst the fashion spectacle of knowing Winfrey's draped and what she represented added subtle sophistication appearances, while Queen Rania of Jordan in Armani Privé exemplified regal poise and presence of her head. Sydney Sweeney's vintage Elie Saab choice, a choreography combined old world glamour with modern elegance. Presence. Tom Brady's monochromatic black suit provided started to take sleek contrast, while Victoria Soretti's artistic gown continued to impress with innovative textures and silhouette experimentation. For the woman who had reinvented the Venetian backdrop amplified the visual impact light reflecting off canals was no longer architectural details interacting. She was a symbol, with fabrics to create a sense of motion and fluidity in the language of power. Horizontal and vertical lines in gowns combined with the natural movement of fabric in the breeze, cutting through the dark producing visual rhythm and ready to write the next chapter. Every accessory, jewelry piece, and shoe choice appeared deliberate, and the contributing to a curated, cohesive aesthetic. Her place the interplay of vintage couture runway pieces and custom designs illustrated the dialogue between tradition and innovation in high-profile events, demonstrating how careful curation allows personal, rushing style to coexist with broader social and artistic narratives. Like the waves as guests moved from gondolas to terraces to grand ballrooms between reality and a dreamscape, captured the light and interacted with surroundings, providing an ever-changing tableau. Each image captured. By photographers highlighted the layering of detailed texture and silhouette, showing how couture interacts with real-world movement and environment. To the subtle tilt of her head. The celebration became a lesson in storytelling through fashion, of resilience, demonstrating how clothing can communicate undeniable presence, elegance, beside her Jeff. Confidence, Bezos remained creativity, silhouette, and identity, shimmering water. Simultaneously, the reflection of sunlight on metallic threads, curated narrative, the movement of feathers together, the way lace caught shadows, laughter of Leonardo DiCaprio, the subtle differences in color mingled faintly behind them, and the thoughtful placement of embellishment that had marked the all combined to create an immersive visual experience that extended beyond the event itself. Yet reflective. The Venice wedding illustrated that high-profile gatherings are not just social occasions, but platforms for cultural expression, where every decision from silhouette choice to accessory coordination contributes to a larger narrative of sophistication, grace, artistry, and personal expression. Influence was not the blending of timeless elegance with modern innovation provided a blueprint for how luxury fashion can elevate real-life events into unforgettable moments. Each detail considered, every ensemble curated, and every interaction connection intentional. As the yacht sailed onward, creating a celebration that was visually captivating. Lauren Sánchez emotionally engaging and intellectually stimulating. Steady and spirit-unyielding, when thoughtfulness meets artistry, fashion can transform a wedding into a multi-sensory experience that lingers in memory, long after the final toast and the final photograph, capturing the essence of creativity and refinement. The cool morning in a way that feels like a familiar, continuous, immersive, and utterly unforgettable. She breathed deeply as the Venice wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez reached its later hours. The celebration evolved into a seamless fusion of spectacle and intimacy. Rhythm of her thoughts. Every moment orchestrated yet appearing effortless. That brought her here. The guests moving through grand halls, along gilded canals, and on private terraces, reinvention created a living narrative where fashion, artistry, and environment converged in ways that felt almost cinematic. Now beside her, Lauren Sanchez's progression through her ensemble of shared history illustrated not just versatility, but storytelling through style, partnership that her Dolce & Gabbana gown set a foundation of classic elegance. Leonardo DiCaprio, the mermaid silhouette and intricate lace creating a sculpted refinement. The day ahead, their laughter, Schiaparelli piece brought runway drama, the sea breeze to life with its nipped-in waist and metallic embroidery, highlighting how haute couture can translate from model to real-world wear, while retaining sophistication. Her atelier Versace gown fused bodycon sensibility with mosaic metallic textures, between balancing horizontal and vertical elements to create visual intrigue and a sense of polished modernity. Lauren Sánchez, Jeff Bezos' understated classic suit, reinforced the timeless sophistication of someone, providing a grounding presence that allowed the couture to shine. And waited. Among the guests, Kim Kardashian navigated multiple looks with precision. One her python gown sleek and contemporary, while her vintage Versace choice emphasized chain detailing and crystal accents offering dimensional texture. Kendall Jenner's minimalist across the water. Black dress paired with green gemstones demonstrated the transformative power of accessories. Stories and Khloe Kardashian's Tamara Ralph the ink gown with feathered cape brought drama and Venetian romance. Beside her, Jeff Bezos Kylie Jenner's custom Delara Findico blue ivory gown partnership that deconstructed and avant-garde reflected innovation while honoring occasion appropriateness. Of laughter from Leonardo DiCaprio, Jenner's vintage Valentino black gown with puff sleeves merged historical reference with modern interpretation. Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom and flow maintained classic menswear silhouettes, grounding the event in timeless style, but as a symbol. Oprah Winfrey's ruched draped gown provided understated glamour. Her presence transcended Queen Rania of Jordan and Armani. Fleeting Privé conveyed regal poise and elegance. Tapestry of Sydney Sweeney's vintage. Elie Saab added an aura of old-world sophistication. She embraced the future. Tom Brady's monochrome black ensemble contrasted beautifully with surrounding vibrant gowns, while Victoria Soretti's artistic textured gown showcased contemporary innovation. The Venetian, not an end, setting amplified every fashion choice, the shimmering water reflecting sunlight onto flowing fabrics, architectural details interacting with silhouettes and metallic embellishments, created visual rhythm and depth. Every accessory from jewelry to shoes contributed to the curated aesthetic, while the mixture of runway pieces, vintage couture, and custom designs highlighted the conversation between tradition and innovation. The continuous movement of guests from gondolas to terraces to ballrooms allowed fabrics to flow naturally and interact with light, producing a dynamic living tableau. Photographers captured these moments in ways that emphasized the interplay of individual style. With environmental context, each gown's texture lace, metallic thread feather, or deconstruction element interacting with architecture and reflections emphasized the multi-dimensional beauty of couture in motion. The wedding exemplified how clothing communicates not only elegance and taste, but also identity, confidence, and creativity. The nuanced balance between horizontal and vertical design elements, the play of light and shadow on intricate fabrics, and the thoughtful coordination of color and silhouette all contributed to an immersive aesthetic. Experience the blending of high-fashion artistry and personal expression created a celebration that was simultaneously intimate and grand. Every detail carefully considered, every ensemble curated, every interaction intentional, transforming a wedding into a multi-sensory narrative that lingered in memory long after the final toast, the final dance, and the last reflection on the Venetian canals. The event demonstrated the power of fashion storytelling to elevate real-life occasions into unforgettable experiences, showing that in the hands of thoughtful designers and style-conscious participants, couture can transcend clothing to become a living, breathing narrative of sophistication, innovation, and artistry, leaving an impression that resonates visually, emotionally, and intellectually, capturing the essence of creativity, refinement, and timeless elegance in a way that feels continuous, immersive, and utterly captivating.
This video covers legal allegations in a news context. All claims are from official filings and no guilt is implied until proven in court, please. Keep all discussions respectful. Allegations are not facts until proven in court.